So let me ask you something. What if Marvel's next superhero team wasn't heroic at all? What if the so-called New Avengers were just a rebrand? Like the kind of team that sounds solid at first, but the more you learn, the more complicated it gets. Because that's what Thunderbolts kind of feels like. They're not your classic Iron Man and Captain America lineup, the kind that made you believe in unity and purpose. They're assassins, broken super soldiers, government tools with a PR makeover. And yet, Marvel wants us to believe they're the future. Let's break that down together. Back in 1997, Marvel introduced the Thunderbolts in The Incredible Hulk, number 449. They seemed like a new superhero squad stepping up in the absence of the Avengers. But the twist? They were villains, literally the masters of evil, in disguise. Led by Baron Zemo, they posed as heroes to win public trust. That wasn't just a plot twist. It was Marvel questioning the entire idea of what makes someone a hero. Not your actions, but your image. Since then, Thunderbolts has been a rotating door of redemption, deception, and tactical utility. We've seen versions led by Norman Osborn, yes, the Green Goblin, turning them into the Dark Avengers. We've had Red Hulk running a brutal version of the team with the Punisher and Elektra. Luke Cage even tried to make them legit, but the team always drags its baggage with it. No matter who leads, the Thunderbolts are never far from a moral minefield. Now in the MCU, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine is forming her own version. You've seen her recruiting in the shadows, talking to Yelena, Walker, others. Her Thunderbolts roster is loaded. Yelena Belova, elite assassin with a dry sense of humor and a haunted past. Bucky Barnes, still trying to outrun decades of brainwashing and bloodshed. Red Guardian, the Soviet Cap, strong but stuck in nostalgia. Ghost, unstable, glitching between planes of reality. US Agent, a super soldier who hit unhinged levels 5 minutes after getting the shield. Taskmaster, cold, silent, and efficient. A mirror with no reflection. And then there's Sentry, Marvel's Superman with a terrifying twist. An alter ego known as the Void, a destructive force that even he can't control. This team isn't a moral compass. They're a weapon. And that's the point. Valentina doesn't want heroes. She wants leverage. At the end of the film, she reportedly calls them the New Avengers. It's branding, optics, the illusion of safety. But here's the truth. The original Avengers were a choice. They fought because they believed in something bigger. The Thunderbolts? They're activated, controlled, pointed at problems. Let's not confuse a team of heroes with a hero-themed task force. And let's talk about Sentry. In the comics, he's a character of extremes. The power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. That's not an exaggeration. That's literally his tagline. But mentally, he's fragile. His darker self, the Void, represents fear, destruction, and raw chaos. It's wiped out entire teams, cities, sometimes realities. So putting Sentry on this team? It's a massive risk. His power is nearly unmatched, but his mind is unstable. And the Void makes him unpredictable at best, unless chaos is the point. Unless Valentina knows that a controlled threat can justify an uncontrollable response. Which brings us to the theory. What if the Thunderbolts are not just Marvel's next team, but its next problem? Imagine this. Sentry loses control. The Void is unleashed. The Thunderbolts can't contain him. The world panics. Enter a New Avengers initiative. A real one. Not made by PR. Not made by fear. But built to stop what the Thunderbolts became. Let's be honest. When Thunderbolts was first announced, most people didn't know what to expect. A team of misfits? Maybe. But now that it's here, I gotta say, it surprised me. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 88% critic score and 94% from audiences, which is kinda rare for Marvel lately, especially after Captain America Brand New World. IMDb has it at 7.8 out of 10. So yeah, maybe that's the real plan. Use chaos to bring back order. Break the system so people beg for the old one. Or maybe it all spirals out of control because Ghost's powers aren't stable. Because Bucky is still carrying trauma. Because Walker is one trigger away from losing it. So what do you think? Are the Thunderbolts heroes in disguise? Or is that disguise starting to slip? Is this Marvel's way of showing us what happens when you build a team from fear, not hope? Drop your theory in the comments. And if you're still curious about Sentry, trust me, we haven't even scratched the surface.